Creator God, you made the heavens and the earth. You set the planets in their courses. Let the sun with fire cause the stars to shine and the world to turn. Life springs up wherever your breath moves. In Jesus Christ, you brought hope into a world full of fear and despair. We are waiting now in anxious times for the world to be made new. We wait for new life and we wait with deep hope. Amen. In those days, so begins our entry into the season of Advent. It sounds ominous, and it is. Advent is not just a liturgical season of the church year, it is a reality of life. It happens in all sorts of ways. It comes at various points in life, not just 4 or 5 weeks before Christmas. In those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heaven will be shaken. These are Jesus' words to his disciples. The disciples have been admiring the temple and the large stones. They are impressed. Jesus, however, is telling them that change is coming. The temple of their life is coming down. If you have ever experienced a significant change in your life, whether desired or dreaded, you know about those days. You know about Advent. You know what it is like to enter the darkness of change. All change, whether welcome or unwanted, brings some kind of loss. It may be the loss of a relationship, the loss of a loved one, the loss of what is comfortable, familiar, and safe. Regardless, the world as we have known it has ended. The advents of our lives set before us essential questions. How will we find our way forward when the usual lights that illuminated our path no longer shine? What do we do when it feels as if our world is falling apart? Where do we go when it seems as if darkness is our only companion and God is nowhere to be seen? The dark times of life are threshold moments. The temptation is to do something, fix it, ease the pain, escape the uncertainty, and get back to what used to be. The God of Advent does not allow that. We can never go back to the way it was before the lights went out. God does not undo our life. God redeems our life. Advent is not so much about the losses as it is about the hope and coming of what will be. That hope and coming are the Son of Man, Jesus the Christ. The presence of Christ is the ultimate answer to every prayer, to every light extinguishing loss, to every advent of our life. The Advent times of life are times of waiting. In Advent, we live in between what was and what will be. We are neither here nor there. There are times of transition, and it's hard sometimes, even impossible, to see the way forward. But the dark threshold places of life can draw us deeper into the divine mystery. They remind us that we do not know everything. We can neither predict nor control anything. We are not in charge. Advent challenges us to let go of our usual ways of knowing and to question our typical ways of seeing. Advent invites us to receive the God who comes to us in the darkness of life. At some point, our world falls apart. Life changes or the lights go out. More often than not, we see this as the end. When these things happen, Jesus says, remember the fig tree, read the signs correctly. When its branches becomes tender and it puts forth leaves, you know summer is near. So also, when the darkness overtakes your life, know that the Son of Man is near. Christ's presence, our healing and salvation, are always taking place in the dark and messy parts of our life. We have not and never will be abandoned to the darkness. Be alert, Jesus warns. He commands us to keep awake. Darkness is not our enemy as much as it is falling asleep. We fall asleep whenever fear controls our life, when hope gives way to despair, when entitlement replaces thanksgiving, and when we choose what is comfortable rather than life-giving. We often allow the darkness to deceive us into believing there is nothing worth waiting or watching for. So we close our eyes, we fall asleep, and we become part of the darkness. We refuse to see the one who is always coming to us. The danger in the darkness is that we do not give our eyes time to adjust. We do not trust our night vision. Night vision is not about the light around us, but the light within us, a light that can never be extinguished. The advents of our lives ask us to trust the coming one more than the darkness. It means we must sit, listen, wait, and watch. That is contrary to what most of the world believes and what our society rewards. In the darkness of Advent, we move slower, listen more than we speak, and hold questions rather than answers. We wait expectantly, but without specific expectations. Waiting in darkness is an act of faithfulness and surrender to the coming one. Waiting becomes our prayer, a prayer that is and will be answered by God's presence. So, in this Advent time, pray and wait. Wait and pray as much as you can. Be patient. Hope fiercely. Give yourself up to the one who will say in the darkness, "Let there be light." Be still and listen. God is whispering, "Emmanuel, I am with you." Amen.